Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Adventure Fishing UK. Today I'm down at the river and the conditions are low and clear. And I thought, I've been recently made aware that a lot of you watching aren't expert fishermen. So what I'm about to teach you, if you do a lot of fishing before, won't be new to you. But if you're just starting, then I can say when I've used this method, when I first started, when I first learned about it, it was honestly like cheating for trout, especially in these conditions. The fish go bananas for it. And the good thing is about this is you can catch your fish in low, clear water really well when it can be otherwise tough to catch them on things like spinners. Also, it's a method that's appealing for small trout that big and trout about that big. So any fish, if you get this in front of it, then you're likely to catch a fish. I'm not sure he fully knows he's been hooked yet. Oh, that's a big fish. Tell you what, this Rapala's working an absolute treat. What I'm going to be teaching you today is how to use micro crankbaits, and not just any micro crankbaits. In particular, we're going to be using those with sort of a really realistic pattern and with the aim of catching a fair few fish when it would be tough to use other traditional methods like spinners. So just to look into my sort of trout slash a bit perchy box, these are what we've got. So I'll pick out a few lures to show you. So I've just got 3 lures set up here to show you what sort of thing I mean with by crankbait. So I've got this out to show you what I wouldn't use in clear water conditions, but also to demonstrate that you can get a crankbait at any level of the sort of price range. So you probably get this for about £1 or something. You can get these in other patterns which are good, like minnow pattern, etc. But this is a bit bright. For you it might be different, but for me personally, a no in these conditions. Now this is the Salmo Hornet, a great bit of kit. I'd recommend you having one of these in your box. It dives deep and this has a really vibrating action, more so than most other crankbaits. Really natural pattern. But what I'm using today is this sort of really realistic, part of the Rapala trout pack. You get 3 of these in a pack. I'm using this, it's very sort of minnow-ish pattern with a very natural underbelly. Silver looking colour. I am fairly sure today we're going to get onto something quick with these. Another note, make sure you crush your barbs if you're using treble hooks. Now for your rod, anything sort of ultralight works. I'm using a rigged and ready ultralight semi-telescopic travel rod. This is called the Rigged and Ready Fish Rig 180. It is a perfect rod for using micro crankbaits in my opinion, just because of how responsive the tip is and how easy you can feel all the action on the end of the rod. For the reel, RR 1000 size spinning reel, again from Rigged and Ready, paired with the Rigged and Ready 12-pound braid and 8-pound fluorocarbon. Admittedly, you can go lighter with that, but I've chosen not to, just because there are some fairly sizable chub in this stretch of river, and I wouldn't want to risk a snap. Right, first cast. Just cut across this pool, I think, with this little Rapala. And a bit of luck, we might just get onto something quite quickly, because I do love this swim. And it has been very productive for me in the past. Oh, I just had a follow then. No, maybe it saw me, to be fair. It is a bright day. I'm trying to blend as best I can into these trees. Fish, fish. There we go. But look at how stunning that trout is. I've never seen a trout with spots as red as that. That is absolutely beautiful fish. Unhooked itself in the net. Not going to keep this fish out for long. Off you go. Come on. There's a sort of thick blanket of minnows down there. And that's why a natural pattern like this can work exceptionally well, because the fish will just be so used to eating them. See all those minnows down there? That's what the fish will see too. But if they see your crankbait coming through, then it almost looks like an injured sort of stray one aside from the pack, and it makes it an easy target, and they are bound to just come by and nail it. Oh, I just had a big hit then. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, it's off, it's off, it's off. Oh, that was a really nice fish. Oh my days, that was a proper corker. So a lot of rivers will be very low and small like this when it's been hot for a while, like it has now. So you can almost just stand across so you're facing down the river if you have a channel like this. Just float a little cast down there. Oh, I just had a fish. Oh, it's come off. Did you see that? See, that's the barbless hooks for you. But yeah, that just shows again how effective these cranks can be. Now you'll also notice I'm not standing right next to the river when I'm approaching it from the side. I'm standing a bit further back, just because fish can be spooked more easily. Oh, I just had a hit then. I don't know if you saw that. That was a very small looking fish. Tiny. Could have even been a chub, that. But again, a fish that may not have bitten had I been right next to the water. So another interesting thing to mention is that low river conditions also typically involve a lot of sunlight. So if it's sunny, areas of shade like under trees and stuff are always worth stopping by and having a few casts. Fish on right under the tree as expected. As expected. Another trout. Again, only a small one. So again, this is only a small fish. Make sure you keep your hands very wet when you're handling trout. And he hit right under that tree over there, just as expected. Also, don't use one of these if you're trout fishing. I very stupidly made the mistake of leaving my net at home, so I'm using my pike net. You don't need anywhere near as big a net as this. Oh, he spat the hook. That was an eel. That was an eel. What? I literally just had an eel on. I have never in all my life seen that before. I have literally just hooked an eel on a lure. And it's croc weather. I know John Loxley in particular is going to be very happy about this. You've been waiting a long time for this moment, haven't you? But yeah, this water is quite warm today, so crocs over waders for me. And yes, I do have my Crocs in sport mode strapped round the back. No messing about. Fish. What is it? It's another trip. Come on. Oh, and he's through the hole in my net. Serves me right. Well, I absolutely well and truly deserved that. Just look at it coming back there. It's a fantastic bit of kit. Well, the amount of fish I've lost today, I might as well be filming a how not to catch trout video rather than a how to catch trout video, but a lot of that's been my fault, to be honest, and by no means attributable to the method I'm teaching you. But if you are enjoying this video so far, don't forget to drop a like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I do really appreciate it. Right, let's see if we can catch another trout and let's see if we can try and avoid losing another one too. So another really good thing about fishing crankbaits, especially for beginners, that makes it so effective is that you get a good action even when you cast upstream. So I've just casted upstream now and I'm winding it back in and you still get all that movement, whereas with something like a jerk bait, although they are good, you have to give it a bit more of the action yourself. And with a crankbait you can have a straight retrieve, nearly all angles on a river, so you can cover a lot of water. And if you're just starting lure fishing, it's a real advantage. I mean, as well as doing that, you can also bounce it like this, what I said before, and that's a really good way just to get a bit of extra action. Fish. I think it's still on. That feels like a big one. Ooh, that's not a bad chub, that. It's not a bad chub at all. I'm not sure he fully knows he's been hooked yet. Oh, that's a big fish. Ooh, look at the size of it down there. It's the biggest chub I've had all year. It's not gonna like seeing this net, I tell you. It's not quite ready yet. Whew, what a fish this is. Yes, we've got it. We've got it, and the lure's out in the net. Look at that for a chub on the Rapala micro crankbait from the Trout kit. No trout, but I mean, it just shows the method works, and it works well. I'm just going to carry on resting this fish for a second, and I'm going to get a little video with it. What a chub this is. Out trout fishing. Biggest chub of the year by mistake. Well, not really by mistake, I did see it. But just look at that for a fish. Isn't it a corker on the Rapala 2? What an absolute monster that chub was. I mean, there's bigger in here. There's definitely bigger in here, but I don't know, maybe £3 that was. Just shows that these micro cranks aren't just a one-trick pony. They will catch a lot of different fish. Perch love them as well. And Rapala, they will not let you down. Oh, I just lost a really big trout at the side. Fish on, fish on. Oh, that's another good chub, I think. I was hoping that that was going to be a nice trout, but you can't have everything, can you? Might even be bigger than the last, this. You've got to keep it away from these trees. Tell you what, this Rapala's working an absolute treat. That's just spooked that really big trout, but I'm not complaining. And we've got it. So at this stage in the trip, I was really hoping for another trout, and after just narrowly missing another trout, look at that. That is an absolute unit of a chub. I mean, 2 chub this size, this is even bigger than the last. And what a cracker of a fish on the Rapala. So right where I just caught that big chub, there's even more action and fish swimming around. Surely not another chub. If we get more chub than we have trout in this trip, that's going to be something. Fish on. We've got it. What is it? Don't tell me it's another chub. It's another chub. Oh, GoPro's about to die. Another chub on the Rapala. Just going to get this fish back in the net and then lure it down into the water. Well, you'd be forgiven for not listening to a word I've said about trout fishing, because as it turns out, I've actually lost a ridiculous amount of fish today, and I've caught more chub than I have trout right at the end of the day. But I suppose it just shows how effective this method could be at lure fishing rivers. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'll catch you down the road. So just to show you one more time, this is a Rapala, part of the Rapala trout kit. Cracking bit of kit, this. It has served me very, very well today.